You don't fight back. Not because you're weak, but because something inside you already decided it's not worth it. And that choice? It says more about you than you realize. Most people think silence in an argument means you have nothing to say. They think you're avoiding conflict, or maybe you just don't care enough. But that's not what's happening. There's a reason you go quiet, a reason that started long before this argument. Maybe even before you knew how to name it. You've learned something others haven't, something that made you stop trying to be heard. But here's what nobody tells you. That silence, it's not weakness. It's not fear. It's something much deeper. And once you understand it, you'll finally see why you've always been this way. Because there's a part of your mind that shuts down when conflict begins. Not randomly, not by accident. It's protection. But protection from what? That's what most people never figure out. When you stay silent during an argument, it's because your brain has already run the scenario. You've already seen how it ends. The yelling, the misunderstanding, the exhaustion. You know that words won't fix it, so you don't use them. This is called cognitive withdrawal. It's when your mind decides that engaging will cost more than it will solve. You're not shutting down because you're scared. You're shutting down because you're aware. You've seen this pattern before. And somewhere along the way, you learned that silence hurts less than being misunderstood. But here's the part that hurts. People don't understand your silence. They think you don't care. They think you're cold, emotionally distant. They say things like, "Why won't you just talk to me?" And you want to. But the moment you try, it feels like everything you say will be twisted, or ignored, or used against you later. So you stay quiet. And that silence builds a wall. Not because you want distance, but because you've learned that defending yourself sometimes makes things worse. You've been in arguments where the more you explained, the less they listened. Where your words were turned into weapons. Where you were made to feel like the problem just for reacting. So now, you don't react. You remove yourself emotionally. You protect your peace, even if it looks like you don't care. Even if it costs you the relationship. But let me tell you what that silence actually means. It means you've developed emotional regulation that most people will never have. You've learned to pause when others explode. You've learned that not every battle is worth your energy. That's not avoidance. That's wisdom. Most people fight to be right. You stay silent because being right doesn't matter as much as being at peace. You've realized something they haven't. Some arguments aren't meant to be won. They're meant to reveal who someone really is. And your silence, it lets them show you, without you having to say a word. You're not weak for staying quiet. You're selective. You're protecting your emotional energy from people who don't know how to handle it. That's not shutting down. That's boundaries. So if you've ever felt broken for going silent, if you've ever been told you're too calm or emotionless during conflict, understand this. You're not emotionless. You're just done performing emotion for people who won't respect it. You're not cold. You're just careful. You've learned that some people only hear you when you're loud, and you refuse to be loud just to be heard. That's not a flaw. That's self-respect. This is who you are. Someone who chooses silence over chaos. Someone who values inner peace over being understood by everyone. And the people who are meant to stay, they'll understand your silence. They won't need you to explain it. So the next time you stay quiet in an argument, don't apologize for it. Don't explain it. Just know. You're not avoiding conflict. You're refusing to lower yourself into it. And that's a strength most people will never recognize. But you don't need them to, because you already know. If this made you feel seen, leave a like. And if you've stayed silent your whole life, you're not alone.